Good to see you from wherever you're watching us. You're welcome to the Tuesday edition of the show. I'm Yemi Adebayo.
And I'm Cecilia Omogben. This morning, we're starting with Barcelona captain, talking about Lionel Messi. He's back in training for the first time since his failed attempt to leave the club this summer.
All right, so the row has ended, at least for now. So we'll see what happens. Lionel Messi returns to training with Barcelona. So that's it there. All right, let's go to the United States and talk about basketball, the NBA playoffs. Let's talk about it on the show. The Boston Celtics are one game away from getting into the Eastern Conference Finals. They defeated defending champions Toronto Raptors 111 points to 89, taking that crucial step, just one game away from the final.
That's if the Raptors will not bounce back from that. So I really can't say they are almost through to the finals. Also on the program, the resume is actually complete. I'm talking about Dustin Johnson. He wanted this so much, and he went for it. He claimed 3 shots of victory at the PGA Tour's season-ending tour championship. And of course, he's FedEx champion. Also going home with a jackpot of $15 million. That's what comes with winning.
Yeah. That's it. Good one there. That's how we start the show today. We start with golf. We start with this man. We talked about him yesterday, talking about him wanting the FedEx Cup, the tour championship, wanting it to be on his resume, on his trophy cabinet, he got his wish. And of course, it was always going to happen because he had a good...
Really? 4 years ago, remember? That's what you thought?
This particular... tour ending because of the way he was going. The vibes were good. He was leading and all that. So even those who were in contention were not really in contention because they had 2 things. They had to play and hope that somehow something happens to him. But that didn't happen, and he handled the pressure well. And like you said, good part of it that is very interesting to me is the $50 million jackpot.
That's what comes with winning.
You win this, and you get that. I mean, life is good. Life is going to be good for Dustin Johnson.
Yeah, as you said, he held a five-stroke lead heading into the Monday's final. And, of course, he carded the 2 on the 68th. I mean, it's the first title for him. He squandered a chance in the final round 4 years ago when he was supposed to win it. But Justin Thomas and Xander Schauffele, that's the guys who were really close. I mean, fellow Americans, each of them carded a final round 66 to finish tied for second on 18 under. So immediately after that, he said it was a difficult course for him. And, of course, since it was difficult, so he wasn't really too sure if that 5-stroke lead he had going into the final round was still going to help, because he was thinking other guys would definitely catch up. But then it just wasn't to be, so he maintained his overnight advantage after 6 holes, but shot consecutive bogeys at 7 and 8 to over Thomas and Schauffele. Little hope. But then somehow he applied the pressure with 5 birdies on his onward 9, as both he, himself, and Schauffele also moved to within 2 of the lead over the day. But somehow Johnson remained the first player to actually hold a 54-hole lead in 4 straight stroke play events since Tiger Woods did that in 1999, held his nerve, and sealed the victory with a bogey on the last.
And he returns to the top of the world rankings.
That's the way it is.
And of course, he's the 23rd title in his career, the 3rd for this year. So impressive
performance,
for him. So we'll see how far it goes. $15 million in your pockets. I can't lie. I envy him right now. I can't lie. Okay, I envy him right now.
He should be on the course and not in the studio.
Not talking about it. Okay. All right.
So when you talk about it, you won't make money. But when you play the game, you make more money.
You get a chance of making the money.
That's
okay.
All right. Let's go to tennis, right?
Tennis, right?
US Open, of course. And, what's happening? The Australian Open champion, she's out of the tournament. So, like, the way is getting clearer and clearer and clearer. When I keep saying that, I know what I'm talking about. I just want her to win, get that holy grail, get it out of the way, and let's all relax. Because when you watch Serena Williams these days, your heart is practically in your mouth, because she always gives us a scare, and before you know, she wins. But then, Kanane is the lady we're talking about this morning, Sophia. She is out of the US Open. I didn't see this coming because of the way she has been blistering through all the games she's been playing so far at the US Open. I was thinking this would just be another one that will not be so difficult for her. But somehow, somehow she lost this to Elise Mertens. You know.
Yeah, she did. 6-3, 6-3. Do you expect that? I think coming into the tournament, she was second seed. So a lot of people expected...
Top seed is out, second seed is out.
A lot of people expected a lot from her, but it didn't happen. I guess for Elise Mertens, our run in 2020 has been good, and she continued in that line, and that's responsible for her being able to reach the quarterfinals for the second straight year at the US Open.
Yeah.
And so we'll see, she's seeded 16th. And so it's a big upset.
It's a big one, yeah.
To knock out Kenin, that a lot of people expected that at least getting to the last 8 would be something.
I mean, just smooth. 6-3, 6-3, no fight at all because Mertens hit 4 fewer winners than Kenin, but only had 7 unforced errors compared to 26 from the American. And this year alone, she has won 23 games. I mean, this is a good one for her. That's the most in the circuit.
In the women's circuit.
In the women's circuit, because she has played more games than most of the ladies here. But up next for her is going to be Victoria Azarenka, and that would just be a difficult one. But before we talk about Victoria Azarenka, let's talk about Serena Williams, who gave us a scare. I mean, I was thinking, why would you do that? I mean, the first set was pretty okay. 31, 35 minutes she was doing. And then second set, what happened? Summer Sakari. Remember this lady who beat her at the Southern and Western Open, this same court? You know, she lost out in that tournament. And of course, coming here, I was like, are we going to see a repeat of what happened before? Because she had to come from a set down, talking about Sakari, she had to come from a set down to beat Serena Williams. Serena Williams already leading. I'm like, okay, is this going to be it? But somehow, she has to dig deep. You don't just win 23 Grand Slams for nothing and then lose, a game like this.
She had to dig deep. There are a lot of moments like this in her career that she could go back and say, okay, how did I dig myself out of this? And she came up with the goods. At 38, still playing this way. Look, I'm going to say this. She has nothing to prove to any one of us.
Yeah.
But a lot of us are rooting for her. Just get the 24, get the 24. Even if she doesn't, for her to still be mentioned. If anybody beats Serena Williams, it's still an upset. That's the testimony of how good she really is.
She's number 3 seed here, so you see how big that is.
She gave us a scare, I must admit, in the second set. But she came out of the blocks in the third and won a 6-3. And she's on course. We have to say it. 3 more games, she might get what has turned out to be the holy grail for her now. And I'm happy for her. She did this. A lot of us expected her to win. Not necessarily because a lot of people say, "Oh, this tournament is watered down." A lot of withdrawals. But you see, in sports, you beat whoever is in front of you.
Of course. And
so
if you're able to do that,
as long as you do that, you're a champ. Nobody can take that away from you. And I'm impressed that even at this age, it meant a lot. It does.
After 2 hours and 28 minutes, so that she needed to release that. And this is actually a 100th win on Arthur Ashe Stadium. This is good. So, Serena Williams, just take a bow.
She's won 6 times, yeah?
Yeah, 6
Looking
times.
for number 7.
And number 7, yeah. We'll see if she's going to be able to do that. But the up next one is going to be Svetlana Pirokova. But before that, she's been talking about the French Open. After now, questions were asked. Are you going to, because the French Open just yesterday announced that they're going to allow about 11,500 fans, to the stadium. And Serena has been saying, look, she needs to ask them so many questions because, of course, she's concerned about her health. If you want fans to come in, why will you restrict players to stay in particular hotel? Why not have them have their own apartment like she usually do? But she will not be allowed to do that.
And aside that, she would like to know if you're letting the fans in, safety concerns. Are you going to keep us and the fans, keep everybody safe?
The distance.
They need answers.
All right. She's got those questions and some answers for us this morning. Yeah, when she's talking like that, you understand that, okay, if you've had some major health scare, you know that you have to be very careful not to go down that route again. So we understand her fears because 11,500 fans coming. So what's going to be the distance between the fans and also...
Yeah, valid. Yeah. A lot of people, as I was listening to that, okay, you're here in US Open, you're arguing about, look, she knows what she did to be able to be here. So, if you've had issues in the past, health issues, health and safety always comes before sports. You're a human being first before a sportsman. And there's only somebody who is alive that can get involved in sports. So she has to stay alive. And And I think she's not just asking for her, she's asking for everybody.
Yeah, for everyone,
because
yeah.
the answers she gets will help everybody prepare. A lot of the guys that didn't show up in the US Open because they were afraid are going to show up in France. And the same problem might not be the same level, but the same problem you ran away from in New York is what you're going to face in Paris.
So she needs to get ready. For now, she's focusing in New York, and she needs to get ready for Pironkova. That's the lady she will be facing because Pironkova defeated Alize Connors 6-4, 6-7, 6-3 to get this far. Okay, leaving Serena Williams now, let's go straight to someone who will not be at the French Open. She's confirmed world #1 and also defending champion. She will not be at the French Open. She pulled out of the US Open and said, look, she wants to stay in Australia because of health issue. And now she says this is also another difficult decision for her to make. So she's also pulling out of this year's French Open. She's world #1, remember. Yeah. She's also defending champion. So there's so much at stake for her, losing rankings, money, and everything and all that. But she doesn't really mind because she feels health comes first.
For Ashley Barty, I think, even apart from the health issue, she's not played since February. And she doesn't want to embarrass herself. Look, she's world #1. She's defending champion. There's a lot at stake. And look, it's not just about... it's not about, for me, my personal interpretation, it's not just about COVID. COVID is big, yes. But look, she doesn't want to come here and embarrass herself. Somebody who's not played in February, so she's defending champion here. She's world #1. I mean, you'd rather just not be there.
Playing at all in Europe. So
you understand?
I mean,
so you'd rather just not be there than come and give something, a performance people will want to forget in a hurry. And so I guess double whammy for her health and also the fact that she's just not in shape. And she's honest enough to admit it. And one of the things that I like, she put out a statement, didn't leave us in doubt. Yeah, a lot of the other guys were being cocky with us. I will be there, I will not be there, you know. But she just, I like people giving it to me straight. That's where I am.
That's what she did.
Just let me know how it is. And that's what she's done. It's good she's done it like that. And I'm very sure with all the time she's had on her hands,
she'll be ready for the Australian Open next year.
Yeah, a lot of people thought this COVID was going to be, we're probably not going to get a handle on it. So a lot of people were already thinking 2021, while in 2020. So when a lot of these, the open doors started kind of like, oh, I'm already thinking of 2021. So
there's no point, no need to reverse.
So just I think Ashley is in one of that kind of situation where she's already pictured everything 2021 already.
Out of Europe this year. I mean, I'm surely missing her on tour. But her points are valid, as you mentioned, because she says, look, because of the border closure in Australia, no, her coach hasn't been able to come to train her. And, of course, she's
too many obstacles.
Not match fit. Health issues, everything coming together. The French Open is going to start September 27th. And that's why some players are also concerned. How do you finish all the way from New York, US, and of course, you're coming to Europe.
These issues about quarantine
and all that. Of course, they are going to waive all that in France. All those things will be waived for most other players. But we can't wait for it to start. The US Open is going to end this weekend. Of course, after that, just a few weeks later, you're going to be having the French Open back-to-back Grand Slam. Good one. Let's go to the men now. I mean, the top seeds, those guys that are favorites to win it are still going strong. I'm talking about Dominic Thiem and also Daniil Medvedev. These two guys are through into the next round. Now, let's talk about Dominic Thiem, of course. That's the guy we're starting with. Auger Aliassime, I was thinking maybe this guy is going to give him a fight, but somehow...
Didn't show up.
It just...
as simple as that.
It was
just didn't show up. It's absent. It wasn't a fight. So if it was boxing, you call it a beatdown. That's what it was. One-sided game, you know, and Thiem just ran. I mean, the first set was a bit, but 6-1, 6-1.
Yeah, the first set, I mean, he went to tie break and all, but that resounding 6-1, 6-1, and the final one, second and third, was just nothing. What? Novak Djokovic has been disqualified, so, I mean, the Australian is, of course, a favorite for this one because he hasn't won a Grand Slam, and so facing a below-par player who had 51 unforced errors. I mean, this guy, when he beat Andy Murray, you know, in the second round, we're like, okay, now just watch out for this Canadian. But somehow, 51 unforced errors on the day. And him winning 74% of his first serve and near flawless, sending 22 winners to wrap up the contest in over 2 hours. So this boy is out of the tournament.
He's out, and he's going to come up against Alex de Minaur in the quarterfinal. And a lot of people will be asking him questions. What are you thinking? The big three are not here. And he said, look, even if the big three were there, everybody's thinking about getting their name on the title.
Yeah.
I'm winning the title. He says, look, I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on this game. I like that attitude. Fully focused. Play your game. Don't be thinking about other things when you still have contenders, players in front of you. So he
Let's
got
hear
the
from
job
him. Yeah.
done. And, that's all we're talking about here.
Yeah. Let's hear from him now.
At the end, for myself and also I think for the other remaining players left in the draw, it doesn't matter at all if the big three are still here or not. I think everybody just wants their hands on this trophy, and doesn't matter who they're gonna beat. So I just focus on the tournament, and really for me, for myself, doesn't matter if the big three are here or not.
Okay, good one. Daniil Medvedev also through battling Andrei Rublev in the next round. Okay, let's go straight to the NBA, right?
Yep.
Okay, straight to the NBA, and of course, let's start with the results coming from last night. The Clippers, winning. They know they needed to win because you just don't want to give the Nuggets a chance. Remember what they did to Utah Jazz in the first round. For them, the victory was sweet, and it was a swift 8-9 and 111. That's the Raptors and the Boston Celtics. So the Celtics leading the series 3-2. And should they win the next one, well, as you're saying,
It's over.
Raptors will have to go home. Okay, Nuggets and the LA Clippers, the one I mentioned earlier, 113 and 107. Now, this game, let's start with the Celtics and the Raptors. We were thinking what happened in the last one, them winning 2 games, tied the series at 2-all. And they understand that they needed to
So there was
win.
a shift in momentum
Precisely.
and all that.
But just somehow it wasn't to be for them. But then the pictures we're seeing is the game between the Clippers. Okay, there you have the Celtics and, of course, the Raptors. Now, this game, Boston Celtics dominated Toronto Raptors and taking that 3-2 lead. Kemba Walker, 21 points. Jason Tatum had 18 with 10 rebounds. Brad Wanamaker and Daniel Theis, all of them scoring 15-point apiece. Marcus Smart also 12 for them. And these guys, all of them were on double figures. I mean, 6 Celtic players on double figures. And that's how they were able to get the victory. And, of course, Fred VanVleet had 18 points to lead the Raptors, who never led in the contest and trade by as many as 30 points at a time during the game. And the game between the Clippers and, of course, the Clippers and the Nuggets, it was the Clippers who knew what they needed to do to win. And, of course, they got that victory. Paul George was the guy, there in action. Paul George scoring 32 points. Kawhi Leonard also adding 23 for the Clippers. All right, we need to go on the break now. We'll come back. There's still so much more to talk about this morning. Welcome back. Okay, you guys can talk to us on Twitter. What do you think about the U.S. Open? I mean, it's really open now in the sense that you have Novak Djokovic, the guy favorite to win it, is out of the tournament. He was disqualified because of some, silly mistake he made, something he shouldn't have done. But somehow he did it, and of course he's out. He's paying the price right now. Who is going to win it with the men? Daniil Medvedev is still there, and of course you have Dominic Thiem is also there. And Zverev is also still around. So these are some of the guys that are favorites for the U.S. Open. For the ladies, Serena Williams is one of the favorites. Victoria Azarenka, she's still there. But Serena needs to scale the hurdle of Pironkova to see if she can get her 24th Grand Slam. Also this morning, we'll be talking with Tosin Omoyele. He has joined Eyimba. I mean, leaving Plateau United, the guys, leaders, when the season was truncated, when it was, ended and all that. How do you leave those people and you want to join Eyimba? And of course, we know Eyimba is the biggest team in Nigeria, one of the biggest, so that Rangers fans will not be upset about that. Rangers, Eyimba, Canopy, these are some of the biggest teams you have in Nigeria. He left Plateau United to join Eyimba. If you have questions for him this morning, you can send it to us on Twitter, and of course, we'll send your questions in. So Tosin Omoyele will be joining us this morning, talk about his move to one of the biggest clubs in the country and what actually influenced that decision to leave Plateau United and decided to join Eyimba. Tosin, good morning. It's good to have you join us.
Good morning.
So how are you doing this morning?
I'm fine. Everything is good. I'm good.
Okay, I know currently you guys are training, just trying to ensure that you're ready for the season, when the leagues start. So what really prompted the move, leaving Plateau United to Enyimba on that 2-year deal?
Yes, actually, Plateau United is a team I love so much. It's a team like let me say, it's a family to me because I've been in Plateau since 2017. But this game, it's a hard decision for me, like leaving Plateau to join Enyimba. But I want also to know, like Enyimba too. I'm also happy, like join Enyimba because I'm very happy. I'm very excited because Enyimba too is not a small team. Because Enyimba have seen everything, all won the Champions League, won the league several times. You understand? But I just thought to take a decision just to move ahead, like just to ready for the challenge. That's all thing. I did not leave Plateau for any reason. I just left Plateau. I think it's the right time for me, like just to step ahead.
Tosin, we really want to say thank you for taking our time to talk to us this morning. I want to ask you, now that you've joined AIM, but there's surely will be some targets. There surely will be things at the back of your mind. You've just told us all the things that AIM has done in the times past. So surely you would have things that you would love to achieve with this club within the 2 years that you signed. So what are some of those things that you hope that during your stay with the Aba Elephants, you probably will be able to achieve?
Yes, yes. For me, join Enyimba, like I just want to be successful man with the team, like achieve a lot of. Because if the team was like achieving whatever they want, I'll also be the part of the story. You understand? By helping the team to win several of match, doing my best. Like I know I've not been to the environment, and I know the fans over there are waiting for me to just to come and start training, and so that we can get prepared for the season. I'm surely believe I have the faith. Like joining Imba, I just like to get everything done, just to like because but before joining them, the chairman told me like every season like what of their aims they are like just to win even at least one trophy in a season. You should have win the MPFM, you should have win the ITO Cup or like winning the cup. And they have the aim of like they want me to go to the CAF Champions League final this season. Like I know with God all things are possible. So I know I'm not the only player there. We just a teamwork, and I know I'm going there to achieve my aim. Everything will be fine.
I think I love that because I was going to go there. You scored 18 goals for Plateau United while you were with them, and your contribution to Enyimba, the teammates and the players you're playing with is also going to, play a big part. What are your dreams for Enyimba? Since you didn't really win much with Plateau United, but Enyimba, a team that we know that can really win trophies.
Yes, Alan. As for me, I just go there to do my job and as a striker. For me, like as far as I'm concerned, if I'm scoring goal in every match, I know surely my goal will come from my team to win. Sure, you understand. I'm going there to help the team. I'm going there to make this like to make the fans, everybody like Nimba fans, to make them proud, so that I don't want like anything that will make me of regretting going to Nimba. I know I'm going to succeed over there. I'm going to do my best for them, just to do everything for my teammates and my colleagues, so that everything will be fine for us at the end of the season.
All right, Tosin, let me just ask you this one. I'm very sure a lot of people want to know how there's going to be a lot of competition in AIMA. You're going to a team where a lot of good strikers are in that team as well. But how are you preparing, for the challenge ahead? What are the things you're doing? What are the activities you're involved in? Are you training with a group of guys? I mean, just share with us the things you're doing to get yourself ready.
Yes, football is all about challenge when you go into another team. Yes, I'm ready for that. There are a lot of strikers there. I know I'm sure they're signing new players, even like I am also. But everything just left to the coach. Like, say football is all about the movement form you are. But I'm sure I'm going to do my best and everybody is going to enjoy me. I'm ready for the task. I'm not scared of that. But, football is not just only you will do it. It's just about teammates and bond. when there is unity, even you can't play all the homage. You can't play all the homage. Like there was a certain game you maybe knock or injury will come up, something like that. Sure you get. But I'm ready. Whatever any task is coming, it's my job. I have passion for it, so I'm sure I'm going to do it. So I'm not scared of anybody there.
That's a good one. All this while that we didn't have, football is, sports is gradually returning. During the lockdown, we saw some of your training. You even had to speak with us what you were doing during the lockdown. And the lockdown, of course, is over, but then sports has really not returned. What have you been doing? Just training or preparing at something?
Yes, like I've been doing a lot of exercise because it's my job. It's a job that is paying me. Like it's a job I have passion for. It's a job I'll be using to feed my families and my loving ones. So I've been doing a lot of exercise to keep myself fit. Like some programs I know I can do that will make everything so that I can get myself fit before the resumption of the league.
All right, Tosin, before we let you go, Nigerians love football. There are a lot of youngsters listening to you now, and they're like wondering how can I get to be, be in the league, be like Tosin or some of the other guys that have done so well. So just as you're about to end this discussion, your word of encouragement to young, aspiring footballers in the country.
Yeah, it's my advice to go to the young footballers. Like even me, I also like stick to the advice of the elder ones, which some people are ahead of me, you understand. So everybody is learning. So nobody is perfect. Even like other people in Europe, they are still learning. They have some coach, they have instruction. So my advice for them like to just have to just believe and just get mind like this game is tough and like just be disciplined and be faithful with God. All things will be easy. You understand? Just get ready that football is a war. So whenever your coach call you out for training, even though you are tired, even sometimes we are tired. So we get to push ourselves. Just be disciplined, listen to others. Don't think you are there in share. You understand? So I'll just they should just believe they can do it and just learn. Nobody's perfect. Learn from your elders. When you go for some people training, learn from them what you don't have. Like me now, I do like watching people. Even my teammates, I learn from them because we can't get everything perfectly. You understand? So just be obedient and disciplined. That's all.
All right. Tosin Omoyele, I want to thank you for your time. I know you have a busy schedule, but you took time to talk to us this morning. We really appreciate that. And I wish you the best of luck with your new team. But once again, thank you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure talking to you people. Thank you.
All right. So we're speaking with Tosin Omoyele. Needs little or no introduction.
Yeah.
If you're a follower of the Nigeria Professional Football League, but of course, he just joined Eyimba. He's played with Osun United, he's played with Plateau United. That was the time he went to a club in Egypt. Came back to Nigeria, played with Plateau. Now he's with Eyimba, and a lot is expected from him, really.
Yeah, absolutely. A whole lot. I mean, 18 goals he scored for Plus United while he was there 3 seasons and all that. This is one of those top stars you just see that is regular in the Nigerian Professional Football League. He had to see out his contract for 3 seasons, of course, left on a free, joining him back for 2 years.
Decided not to extend.
You can actually, see the progression, what he's making and all that. It's so easy. I know issues of okay undisclosed how many years and all that. But I love him, just a thorough professional that he is. We can't wait for MPFL to return, especially knowing that we're going to be having MPL.TV and, of course, being able to watch the games streaming. I can't wait for it to start. But let's leave Nigerian Professional Football League and go to Spain. Lionel Messi, after a while, he returns to training. And, of course, the fans across Spain, Barcelona, La Liga, they are all happy to the extent even La Liga president said, look, Messi is here to stay. He's not a player who wants to lose and all that. But Messi is just here for like 1 season, so he can leave next season on a free. Badaki today Johnson will be joining us to talk about Messi and so much more, what has transpired during this period, especially with also Southgate and the headache is kind of facing right now. First, it was United captain Harry Maguire. Now, another United player, Mason Greenwood, and Manchester City player Phil Foden. These guys are giving me a whole lot of headache. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in his shoes right now. But Badaki today Johnson joins us now. First, we're starting with Lionel Messi. I mean, this guy, we expected, I mean, some people said it wasn't going to go anywhere. Some said, oh, it was going to leave. And some said, look, he's not going anywhere because he's Barcelona through and through. And somehow, another one season, he will be there. So at the end of the season, we'll wait and see if he's going to leave or if he's going to stay and end his career there, like what Tabaz said. I was talking about La Liga president when he said he's not going anywhere. There's a player that will retire in the Spanish La Liga. So what do you make of Messi' latest developments?
Morning, Cecilia, and morning, the viewers and me. I was one of those who said categorically and emphatically too, almost with 100% certainty that we're never going to see Lionel Messi in a Barcelona jersey again. But he made that dramatic U-turn and decided to stay on for the final year of his contract with Barcelona, choosing not to drag his beloved team to court because that was the only way the impasse was ever going to be resolved. The club insisted on the technicalities of the contract, which stated that he had to have informed the club about his desire to depart before the 10th of June, which obviously did not happen. Messi didn't want all of the great work that he had done in the colors of Barcelona to be undone by this narrative of the world's greatest player and the biggest legend in the history of the club, taking the club to court and saying as if he only has 1 year left on his contract, he chose to stay. What are the implications of this, you might want to ask? First, I hope that between Messi and Koeman, they can resolve whatever negative energies they already built between themselves, so that you don't have a player who grudgingly is staying and is grudgingly playing, because you don't foresee a situation where Messi is put on the bench. He's club captain, so he needs to transmit the energy to the rest of the squad, and that energy has got to be positive. So Barcelona have a huge job on their hands to ensure that Messi's head is in the right place and that he's able to inspire the team that Ronald Koeman is building. That team, whether Koeman likes it or not, has to be built around Messi. He's their most important player, so they must find him in the best possible shape, or get him into the best possible shape to deliver his best for the team in the final season. From a purely financial standpoint, how sound is this decision for Barcelona? I doubt. Moving him on would have been negative in the sense that, the circumstances in which he was departing have meant a very, very bad situation for the club, eggs on their faces. They would have gone down in history as having bungled a situation where their best player left them, their legendary player left them. But from a purely financial standpoint, they would have gotten a huge load off the wage bill, one. Two, they would have pocketed at least 200 million, by my reckoning, which would have been the value of the final year of his contract. All of that, they've decided to lose because he's going to see out the last year of his contract. Messi is not going to sign a new contract. So he's going to be leaving for Man City or wherever else at the end of the season, absolutely with not a dime, a kobo, go into the coffers of FC Barcelona. So that is the choice that Barcelona has made. To have him on for another season, maybe he scores another 40, 50 goals, helps them to win La Liga. And for them, that will be worth more than saving the huge wages that he earns, as well as getting another maybe 200 million from a potential buyer. So that's the situation at the moment. I don't know that anyone has won. I don't know that Barcelona has won in this case. I don't know that Lionel Messi has won in this case. Only time will prove, because if they do go on and have a very unremarkable season like they did this year, then maybe Barcelona would have wished, or would be wishing, that they had let him go and had pocketed some this money with which they could have invested back in the squad and bought some players for the future.
All right. Bada, before we talk about the drama in the English national team, let's just spare it up for Everton. James Rodriguez joins Everton. So Carlo Ancelotti trying to build that Everton team, probably trying to make them contenders. But your thought, quick one. James Rodriguez, What can he bring to Everton? Okay.
Okay.
It appears like we're having issues with connections there, but we'll probably sort that out. And I was very interested in knowing what he feels about Emis Rodriguez. Carlo Ancelotti had worked with him before.
Bayern, at Real Madrid, and so at Everton.
Feels probably would be a good addition to the Everton squad. We'll see. We'll see. I have my views about Emis Rodriguez, but whether or not it will be a good addition, time will tell. But if he can return to that pre-World Cup, 2014 World Cup form, then...
Or even the 2014 World Cup form, not even the pre, because, I mean, he was the highest goal scorer. And also that fantastic goal he scored against, Uruguay before they fell to Brazil and all that. And that was what made Real Madrid at that time to shell about close to 70 million quid for him.
I think he was one of
on that performance and all. But I think he has been able to justify that, although some people will say no, because if we go into a team like Real Madrid with all the superstars that were there and still being able to contribute as much as you can, but I think he was able to do his best. And then, of course, he was on loan at Bayern Munich with also Carlo Ancelotti, and now Carlo Ancelotti wants him to be here because he feels that he's trying to build a team. He said that it was Ancelotti actually convinced him to join Everton because he's a player that played for the top clubs that wins trophies almost every season, and now you're coming to a club where, can't remember the last time Everton won anything. But then, I mean, he says the coach is ambitious, so because of the ambitions of the coach, so he's joining it. But I just hope that he should be able to.
I remember 1995, every cup in 95. I don't know if they've won anything after that, but I remember because Daniel Abokocho was at the club at that time, so I don't know if they've won. But obviously, ambitious from Carlo Ancelotti. We'll see how far they can go with that. You were so eager to talk about England, but we'll leave that. It's going to be after the break. We're going to be talking about Gareth Southgate and his boys, not his men, his boys, giving him some issues. So let's go on that break. Back for more sports this morning. All right, welcome back. Bada is back with us, even though we don't have much time. But I know you listened to Gareth Southgate and all of the issues surrounding. We hear Phil Foden has apologized. Both clubs, Manchester United and Manchester City, have condemned the actions of their players. But what do you make of all of this incident, and what do you think Gareth Southgate should do?
I think what has happened, it's a big blow to the plans of the English national team. But we've got to call it what it is. It is the height of irresponsibility. It is incredibly irresponsible. Not only would it have been irresponsible in normal times for you to invite strangers into the accommodation of the national team, where both of you are at best still fringe players. But it is even more incredibly irresponsible now, saying as there's COVID-19 and they're supposed to be in a bubble and in a bubble, and you're basically compromising not only your health or risking compromising your health, but those of the innocent other members of the team who maybe had gone to bed, hoping to get back to business as usual the next morning. And then had these guys not been found out, they could potentially have transmitted COVID to the rest of the team without even, without anyone knowing the risk that they carried or that they subjected the rest of the team to. So there's no excuse in it. There's no way you can dice it. There's no way you can spin it. It is super disappointing, especially for such promising talent. You would have thought that by now, players growing up under the best managers in the world and some of the best environments in Manchester at both City and United will be some of the best or better behaved. But there's no legislating these things. Talent will always be talent. They can surprise you. If Novak Djokovic, with all of his experience in sport, is still finding ways to put his foot in his mouth, then maybe we can excuse some of these young stars. Last week, or was it 2 weeks ago on the show, we spoke about Ronaldinho.
Okay, I think some technical issues we're having again. Technology happens most of the time. Well, but I want to thank you so much for trying to join us again this morning. But then we'll just move on with the show and quickly talk about this one, which is Mbappe. I mean, one of the latest player right now to test positive for coronavirus. As a result, of course, the PSG game you'll be missing, and the France game, of course, you'll be missing it and all that. So. He's out of it now. I mean, this is just not good.
Big miss for France.
Yeah.
But then again, hopefully, a lot of people have recovered. So hopefully he gets to recover. He's isolating. Or miss a Croatia game. Probably miss a couple of games for PSG as well. So hopefully he'll get better. We've seen a lot of people get better. I mean, Russell Westbrook the other time we talked about him. Before you know what, he was back with his team in the bubble. So hopefully he will be back.
Yeah, it will be back. Erin Laporte and Riyad Mahrez, some of other players. Was just yesterday for City and all that. I think players just need to be more careful and just try to, as much as possible, to observe social distancing and just take the necessary precautions so that they don't, have this. Because, most of them are fit, they recovered quickly. What happens when you get home, especially when you don't have symptoms and all that, maybe pass it to older people. That's where the dangers lie. Or those people that have ailments that they don't really know about
health conditions.
And all that, so which is really risky. Okay, let's go to the papers now. Yemi, I'll start with Sporting Life here. Sporting Life, there's a beautiful picture of Serena Williams' daughter, Olympia here. Mom's lead charge of the Super Moms. I mean, just that beautiful picture. She's grown so tall. I mean, it's growing bigger every day. Okay, Novak Djokovic actually fined $10,000, of course, because of what's on sportsmanship conduct at the U.S. Open. That's also there. Real Madrid are Mbappe, Haaland in 261 million overhaul euros deal. I mean, this, is shadow boxing, silly season and all that. So
yeah,
some
you
money
get to hear a lot of all of these stories.
At this COVID period, I mean, you're expecting Real Madrid to shell out this 261 million. Okay. All right. I don't know if it's going to happen. Chelsea offered Andre Onana. Can they grab him? Because Kepa is still there. No one is asking for him, and they need a goalkeeper.
We'll see. But Kepa has told everybody he's going to stay. He's going to fight for his place in Chelsea, so we'll see what happens. Let's see.
Bale has interest from Manchester United. That's what you have here in Sporting Life. Okay, that's interesting. But I heard the story also, read somewhere that it might go back to Tottenham. So if that's... And Manchester United, Tottenham, which one's going to benefit him more?
I mean, I can't put anything past any footballer these days. So you never can tell.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's quickly see what
the final one. Winfred Ndidi said Osimhen is a great player. Says the Nigerian will excel in Napoli. Of course, he will excel, especially scoring a whole lot of goals the preseason so far.
All right, so we'll see what happens with that one. He's been banging a lot of goals. I hope he does that in the regular season as well. All right, let's quickly go to Complete Sports. We don't know how much time we have left, but let's see how far we can go. Complete Sports, Tuesday edition. A lot of interesting stories. You have this one on the bottom strip. You have something attributed to Mutiu Adepoju, former Super Eagles midfielder. Mutiu Adepoju says that Chukwueze is Nigeria's biggest star in La Liga. That's interesting. You also have on the top corner, and the set for centre-back role in Leicester. That's going to be very interesting. He originally started out as a centre-back. A lot of people forgotten that, but I think seeing him, I'm so used to seeing him in that defensive midfield position, but I'm not his coach, so we'll see what happens. Neymar convinced Silva to join Chelsea. That's also another interesting story in Complete Sports today. I'll ask people for review if we can quickly take one story there.
Yeah, Sporting Sun here. Sporting Sun, there's a big picture of Victor Osimhen here. The UEFA hails Osimhen after second hat-trick. Gattuso says he must be hungry for goals. The striker has been nicknamed Motivator by Napoli. Okay, that's a good one. I hope there's not so much pressure on this guy to deliver. He's already delivering, but it's pre-season, as you mentioned. Hopefully, he can take that into the regular season. That's what is important there. And Real Madrid is eyeing Mbappe. This story is still here. Okay, this is going to happen. We'll see if it's possible. And Lionel Messi pictured a new Barcelona kit. Of course, he's going to stay this season. So he's one of the players. Of course, we also saw Asisa Toshola, one of the players that model the kit. And Coutinho set for Barcelona's stay. He's back in training with them. And of course, hopefully he's going to stay. And Barcelona joins the race for Alcantara. Will he go back? Because Wijnaldum, I mean, he's gradually clear that Wijnaldum, of course,
might be on his way to
Barcelona also. Just maybe Ronald Koeman is trying to rebuild his team.
Yes.
You know, as you said before, he said he wouldn't want to build it around Lionel Messi. Of course, trying to build it around some other players. But then all they have to do is try as much as possible start winning trophy. Once they start winning trophy, of course, Messi may want to stay. But if they don't, there's another flop again. Messi will like, okay, free, I need to go.
Done.
There's another one here. Lampard expects pressure after spending spree. Now, this is the one. I mean, I've mentioned this earlier. He's been given all the things he needed. I mean, he's been given the money, he's been given the players, and now he needs to deliver. Yeah. And of course, delivery is not just top four. Delivery means
titles.
Okay. The league or titles. The FA Cup or
at least titles.
The list of the cups.
Any of the cups
will do, right?
Right. I think that's it for the papers, and of course a wrap on the show today. We do hope that you enjoyed everything we've been able to bring to you today. You can join us tomorrow for the midweek edition. It's going to be interesting as usual. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.
I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Thanks for watching.